Alright, welcome back to Lost Treasure of Yamashita. This is episode 11, and we are getting extremely close to the finale. When last we left our heroes, they were in the jungles of Luzon, having returned back to the vicinity of Breach 6. However, they've triangulated to where the waterfall is, and from there, and the help of Samantha's picture, have found the pyramid. And that is pretty much where we left off. There was a little bit of interesting artifacts found in the pyramid. If anybody would like to recap that portion, you're welcome to. Otherwise, let's go back here. Jungle. Okay, so
And why were we so successful? Because I'm Batman.
Yep, and the help of a drone, which was found inside the pyramid. So we have Samantha. I think you had just checked everybody over. Gwen, you're still inside the pyramid with this ancient computer-looking, almost. It's super futuristic. But there's like a computer console with a projector screen where you can see where this drone has flown up, and you've blown up a portion of the pseudo-military's encampment back at the base camp.
Could I fix my own HP?
Yeah, are you at 5?
Yeah, I'm at 4 out of 5, but I think I would have healed myself.
Okay, go ahead and just take the average, and you have lifesaver, so you can treat yourself.
Actually, if I was hurt, I would be curious. Gwen, could you target, like, one of us and have it perform healing?
I don't like the idea of targeting one of us, like, for any reason. I think that's a bad experiment.
Well, you're not a doctor.
Also, the drone is still not here. It's still kind of hovering over the camp. And from the display, like you can see there's mercenaries kind of running around. Actually, they're pretty much running into the jungle at this point as another fuel canister bursts. And just you can see and hear this off in the distance. It's, not too far away, maybe a mile.
Oh, wow, everything just blew up.
By design.
By design. Okay.
Yeah. The other tunnel leading up to Breach 6 is open. Jordan returns back from it. There's having hunted down the last of the mercs that came through that opening. What would you all like to do?
I think we've got a treasure find.
The waterfall has... Can I get binoculars out and take a look downstream really quick?
Sure.
Gwen had the binoculars. Could I just...
Go ahead and roll perception. If you're using the binoculars, you can add a +1. And then what are you looking for?
I want to look and see what's going on at the waterfall.
Okay.
Perception with a +1.
I think Gwen has the binoculars, so you probably can take it off. And yeah, you can see that the waterfall has diverted. Whether it's mechanical or what happened, the earth has physically shifted and rerouted the waterfall. So now it's pouring down this unused like stream bed, this ancient bed that's washed away a lot of the dirt and foliage, and the pool of the lagoon where the waterfall is slowly just kind of running down the stream and draining in the process, as no more fresh water is being emptied into it. With a 3
Eric,
perception.
Are you talking, Eric? Because I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, it's muted.
So I don't know how long you've been talking, but I just noticed this.
No.
I can lip read you.
Maybe we should go back to just the other thing. And
yeah.
The thing is, I can hear you when you're on the other when it's not the headset. It's just muffled a little bit.
glad it's not just me, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's more frustrating. If
Oh,
it's not
I can hear you
just
now.
me.
Apparently, the mic in the headset is not working at all. It was still It's still taking through the camera.
Oh, so you're hearing audio but no output?
So the headset isn't even working.
Oh,
Honestly, if I didn't have Adrian, I probably wouldn't deal with figuring out headsets either because it's a pain.
yeah.
Because Discord wanted to switch over to the headset mic, and then you couldn't hear me at all.
Well, let's just power through like this. I can hear you, so.
Um, I know out of character. I know Samantha wants to learn Atlantean technology for healing. I don't know exactly why, but did Gwen know that in character?
I mean, Samantha is very much wanting to learn anything having to do with medicine. I'm not against even learning Atlantean if it helps me learn medicine.
To see. Oh, sorry, you were about to say?
No, I was just gonna add in with a 3 perception. You also hear the helicopter coming from the other side of the mountain. It seems to have seen the smoke.
Oh, guys, helicopter coming from the other side of the mountain.
Now, that's the kind of thing we should target with the Doomsday device.
I
Yes,
agree with
but
that.
it also makes a great distraction, keeping them away from the waterfall.
Try flying vehicle. Target flying vehicle.
Okay, I was about to type in stuff about healing, but yeah,
Well,
let's type in flying vehicle.
it's too far away right now to deal with that. Also, do we want to close the waterfall? Or are we just going to leave it open for the helicopter to see? Maybe we should do that first.
I think the helicopter's gonna be more concerned with the smoke, but okay. I, can I multitask? I mean,
It's a command keyboard. What do you want to type in?
well, he starts to look up healing stuff, and then people want to change to targeting the drone, so he starts the backspaces, and then he's backspacing to turn the waterfall off.
Go ahead and roll for me. Let's see.
Samantha's very excited. You must understand. You're probably also equally excited.
This would be use magic device. So that's what I'm gonna roll. So just roll ahead. Go ahead and roll your magic skill for this. I will say. Okay. You're able to tell on this projected display that there is not an actual like battery bar or power bar, but you can see like in Atlantean script in the corner that it's using power for the Atlantean drone, and it is not infinite.
We only have a few more tasks left of this thing. And I don't know if that's going to affect the terminal as well. I know there's at least 3 things I want to do. Don't know if that's going to. One of them is with the drone. Can it? Did the waterfall turn back on?
If you type that command in, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. What was the command that you type?
Waterfall on.
The drone begins to move away from the camp, and you see that kind of camera view rush, and it starts to fly back towards the waterfall. So you get the view of the jungle as it kind of swoops past your position. It's pretty small. It's again maybe I don't remember if I said it was like 8-inch square or if it was a 12 by 12 or something. But you see it kind of flying overhead until it kind of gets closer to the waterfall, and it just hovers there looking at the waterfall.
Open dam.
Nothing happens.
Okay, so we're just going to leave the waterfall closed till later. Can, Meg, you know where that gun battery is? Can you give me a little coordinates on that?
Yep. She pulls the map out of her backpack, unfurls it, and kind of points to it, and reads out the longitude and latitudes. And she doesn't
And,
need a roll because she's got the direction sense thing. She knows
and
exactly
the
where it's
same
at.
thing she said. And can someone get my video camera out of my bag?
As Meg is giving him these instructions, Jordan kind of elbows her in the arm and is like, "You're enjoying this, aren't you?"
She like, shoves you away, ignoring you. Like, yes. But yeah, if anyone wants to get Gwen her camera, what do you want to do with the drone?
Um, can I target the anti-aircraft?
Yep, you want to punch in those coordinates.
Yeah.
Okay. You see it just kind of full takeoff, accelerating at a quick speed, and then that projection of what it's looking at is like rushing jungle and everything as you go past the lake where you were at until it kind of hovers over and you can see that dirt road that's been cleared and a kind of ancient battlement with like concrete and sandbags and this artillery turret. There still seems to be 2 mercenaries over there, but they're not really doing anything. They're kind of like sitting under like a 10 by 10 or something.
It's not exactly gasoline for additional secondary explosions, but I want to at least disable the
Okay.
anti-aircraft weapon.
Okay. What's the command?
Target
Destroy.
that thing, and then destroy, disable.
Okay.
Laser?
It's the kind of crosshairs kind of appears, and it does kind of focus in on the gun battery. And yeah, if you type in destroy, that laser activates again. And nothing seems to happen at first. This is just slowly superheating and eventually starting to sizzle through the metal of the gun. I'm not sure what to really have you roll for this. This is almost like luck. If you want to burn a style point, I'll just do it that way.
Yeah, I'll burn a style point. I don't know if it's mislabeling. Maybe it's movement. Like it can't turn like where it's hinged, where it rotates. Maybe
Yep.
so it can't be aimed.
Okay, you could try that too. If you wanted to do that, you could just kind of keep typing in commands. I'd have you roll another magic check just to use the kiosk to tell it what to do, rather than rely on blind luck. Or if you do want to use the blind luck, then the laser will punch through the metal into the artillery shell, which is inside of it, and then the turret kind of doesn't explode, but the ammunition inside of it bursts, and that caused a fracture to appear in the barrel, and then some of the other ammunition kind of whistles off. The 2 mercenaries like leap up and at first run to the gun, and then decide to run away from the gun.
I don't know how much more power we have on this thing. I think.
And you estimate it? Also, I would have gotten whatever you needed out of your bag.
Yeah. It's the battery bar equivalent, even though it's in text format. The numbers are decreasing rapidly.
I think. I mean, we've just taken out their team at the dig site. Both their bases are under attack. I think they're going to pull. Most likely, they're going to be pulled back and defensive. This creates a great window for us to get into that waterfall.
Maybe if we deal with the helicopter.
I don't know if there's enough left for that. We can try. It was my plan.
You wanted to keep the drone?
No, but not necessarily. I was just thinking. I don't want this terminal to run out of power until I can do other things.
Yeah.
Maybe home and dock. Maybe can it recharge here?
Yeah. You want to resummon it back?
I would like to resummon it back because I'm worried about the whole terminal shutting down if that battery goes down.
Okay.
That's a good point.
So yeah, you recall the drone. Having gone that far, it takes a little bit for it to come back, even though it's kind of going at full speed. The flight back to the pyramid is going to pretty much deplete the battery. It will be able to redock and get back, but it will not be able to fly anymore after that point. It's been a couple minutes. Did you want to do anything with the camera while this was going on?
Yeah. Why that it's flying back? I want to pull up the text. But and she would explain how it's like, well, I can read the Atlantean script. No one has heard the language that's spoken aloud in thousands of years. This thing has speakers. And she would pull out, I need the video camera to record it talking in Atlantean. And she would pull out try to type in, want it to read out the text of the Rosetta Stone.
Okay.
Verbally.
Okay. So once it comes back, it would not even need to necessarily come back because I don't think the drone had any speakers. Anything that would be within the pyramid itself.
Yeah.
So you hear the kind of symphony of vocals as it begins to speak in ancient Atlantean to you.
We would kind of set up like the whole once the video camera is set up, try to do a little whole thing about and kind of say what she's doing on the video camera and then hit the enter button.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to get it all recorded and narrating while in advance of it. In the process of doing that, the drone does return and just kind of settles in on top of the pyramid. And then this process begins. You hear it speaking in Atlantean. You capture it on camera. And Meg comes over off to the side and says, "You guys, I think we better go." Do you hear that? In the background, you can hear the helicopter beginning to take off again.
The chopper!
Well, I dare say we should get away from the chopper.
Yeah, can I start getting my stuff and heading into the forest because this is gonna be people on our toes and I want to not be out in the open when showing this location in particular.
Okay.
And Jordan's traveling light at this point. He left most of his stuff at the other base camp, so he's just got gun in his shoulder holster and the tanto at his belt. And
is there any way for you to bring any part of this back with you, Gwen?
So the study would be this. Come back. I would love to come back here and study this, but at the moment, all this is pretty well attached to the ground.
Did we actually check? Can we roll a perception to see if it is? If there's any tablets or...
I know you love the idea of keeping this for further study. I hate the idea of letting it fall into the hands of...
Oh, I have an idea for that. That's the last thing I was going to do.
I know you're going to hate this idea. I think we need to blow it up.
I'm just going to change
okay, right?
Hold on, what was that, Eric? Go ahead.
Gwen was to say, I was just going to install a password protection.
She's going to install a password protection. Did anyone ever actually roll investigation on the inside, or did you just see the computer?
I wanted to before we head out. Is it okay?
I'm trying to go back to actually see if anybody did last game. I see a investigation from Samantha, but I think that was on the outside because there's guns, attacks, tanto attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, before anyone really... So yeah, no one's actually tried to go in and look at where the projector is behind the computer. It's just kind of front facing. No one's gone behind it or anything.
Can I do a quick look to see if there's an investigation or a key that wasn't on the outside that we could keep of some sort? Investigate.
Yeah, as long as Gwen, you've stepped out while you're doing the recording, right? Or no?
No, she's recording the computer inside. Okay,
so your camera's all set up there?
Yeah.
So once it's finished, though, you probably could get in there and stuff. Yeah, so if you want to roll investigation.
I'd roll a 3.
Okay. Looking behind the panel, so again, there's an elevated keyboard, And then on the back of the podium, there's some sort of projector which projects the screen, if you will, what the drone has been seeing or what the computer terminal is doing. And underneath the projector, there is kind of a door which opens, made out of old and mostly rotted piece of wood. But inside is an Atlantean like crystal, and it is you can see a faint glow from within, but it is almost depleted.
Being in the presence of this crystal setting off my lodestone at all?
It's been set off this entire time.
Oh, so it's...
Yeah, it's been
okay.
ambiently like humming and vibrating, especially when the
But
drone
no-
is close.
No more or less in the presence of the crystal?
No, it's actually been slowly getting less, and once the drone docks, it has gotten significantly less.
Okay,
Okay,
because Jordan has seen this glowing crystal, and his first thought is... His hand goes to his gun, like, we don't want to leave this thing behind. This is clearly something...
You can see Samantha has no intention of leaving it behind.
The last thing I wanted to do before now, you were very interested in healing things.
Look,
Inflicting-
Meg brought me into this because you need someone who can be a pragmatist. Jordan pulls out his gun, levels it at the crystal.
I hold it behind my back, and I'm like,
Did
we're
you?
bringing it with us.
I just wanted to check. Did you hear what Gwen was saying? Because I know there's audio a little bit.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
There's one. I said there's three things I want to do. There's just one final thing you said that you were very interested in healing, in Atlantean healing. I want to just do a topical search on Atlantean healing.
Okay.
Can you do it before the plane gets here? Because I think we're in a bit of a...
Yes, I'm trying to get this stuff without sending.
Okay. Go
Yes,
ahead.
if I can focus on it.
Roll investigation.
And I'm sorry, GM, how big is this crystal? Is it big enough that you could carry it out, or is this like the Final Fantasy? It's like...
No, it's like the size of a salt rock lamp.
Okay.
So it's like a little
Guess I was
bigger than
picturing it
this.
I guess I was picturing much larger.
No, it
Are
could
you
fit in a
speaking-
backpack.
Okay.
Is it like Atlantis, like the glowing power
I was
supply thing?
I was kind of picturing that, like hovering there too big to carry, and that's what he was going to shoot. But if it's small enough to
No.
carry...
They're big
Yeah.
enough to bring him with you, but they're... Oh, what are they called?
Pictured like a power supply in like a.
I know you're talking about the Atlantis movie, the...
The Disney.
Yeah.
So Gwen, as you type in healing and just and speed, just healing, enter, you do see kind of a scroll of like a directory almost of like what do you want to know beyond that. Like it's a keyword search, so all these different things pop up. We're being able to read Atlantean. There is the rest of the so there's just what bless. I think heal is the third one. There's the
Heal was that's and I took heal as a when I leveled up. When this is the supposed to be the end game.
Yeah, so that's there. And then there's a bunch of other categories too, but the first and most accurate result is that healing spell.
So she would just pull up the healing spell, hit record on the camera, and then would say it's like, all right, if you have to keep going, let's pull the crystal and close this place up.
Okay. And you can hear that helicopter is...
Stuff was based on one getting that hearing the word language is spoken aloud, and then two seeing the healing spell.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you got that, and then the helicopter seems to be coming just around the mountain. Meg takes the opportunity to just start sliding down the hill into the brush. She's gone.
Jordan goes with Meg.
I would start heading out with the crystal.
Okay, so you
If at all possible.
yank out the crystal. Roll a defense check.
Defense. Lovely.
Great, this is going to turn into an
1.
Indiana Jones situation.
You rolled a 1.
Okay, that's lovely. Yeah.
You take
Yep.
1 point of non-lethal damage as you kind of get a pulse of energy courses through your body and then disconnects it, and then the power is gone. You've just got shocked, electrocuted a little bit by pulling out the battery crystal. But besides that, you're fine and have retrieved the crystal. As soon as that happens, the computer turns off. The display disappears.
As soon as the display is off, I join Samantha outside and
Scoop up the camera back and okay.
my initial thought was trying to put a password on it, but pulling out the crystal disables it well too.
Gwen and Samantha roll stealth.
Great.
Jordan and Meg probably should as well, but I'll give you a +4 since you've gone into the underbrush.
Can I add skill points
Jordan
to this?
and Meg.
I'm gonna add like a skill point to this if at all possible.
I have not seen what you rolled, so.
There we go. Sorry, style point, not a skill point, a style point.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to get a picture of a ZPM, a 0-point module,
A
into the game chat, so I could.
DPM, and I know what you were talking. I thought you were talking the Disney Atlantis.
No, like Stargate Atlantis, the TV show.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
ZPM.
It is absolutely a ZPM now. A ZPM, I should say.
ZPM.
Oh, God, please don't.
Okay. Yes.
He's Canadian.
You may add 1 ZPM to your character sheet. Yeah. No, I was definitely thinking more.
Fought the revolution against the British so that we wouldn't have to use the word Zed. That's canon. It's in the Declaration. Someone snuck it in. Probably Franklin.
Okay, so yeah, that's so much more better than what I was originally thinking. It's you've gotten the ZPM.
I was picturing maybe this big, like a power crystal.
I kind of was too from like the Disney Atlantis, but
yeah,
I kind of like the Atlantis Stargate show so much better for the being
so good.
Especially
that's
with
what I
it
was
being a
imagining the whole time. And it does glow when it's in full power, so you know.
Okay. What did everyone roll? So Gwen a 1 and Samantha a 2.
Yeah.
And Jordan a 3, and I think Meg rolled a 6. Yeah, so Meg and Jordan are fine. The helicopter spins around in midair, and you can see the open hatch, and there's no mounted machine gun, but there's a mercenary, and he starts shooting down at you. He will strafe. Gwen's in the back and Samantha's in the front, so I think he'd actually shoot Samantha then Gwen. So both of you roll defense, and for strafing, he would get a -2 for the second if he's strafing, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So this is on Samantha. This is on Gwen.
Okay. Oh wow, the gun jams.
Yeah. The helicopter just continues its arc around. He loses line of sight. You both have dirt spatters and everything around you. Gwen, actually, you're mostly fine. Nothing's in your immediate vicinity. But you both disappear into the brush as the helicopter swings around for another pass, but you have gone. You hear the noise of the helicopter, kind of the ambience of it and the whirlwind of its rotor wash, but you're beginning to descend down the hill until it's kind of more in the background. Jordan and Meg in the lead, Samantha and Gwen not far behind. What would you like to do now? You return to the waterfall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I'm keeping an eye out for the helicopter, wanting to know where it goes, because the waterfall isn't too far from the pyramid.
Yeah, it's like in visible range.
Could I have made it look like I didn't tamper at all with taking out a crystal from this?
Not really.
Not really. Is it very
Unless
obviously
you want to go
missing?
back.
Okay.
Well, there's a kind of rotted door for it, and then there's a place for it to like stick into, and there's nothing there now.
Could I have closed the door behind it when I opened it?
The pyramid
it's
door or
obviously
the drawer? Yes, but the
the
pyramid
drawer.
doors are
Yeah,
open.
yeah, just the drawer. Just the drawer. The pyramid is open, and I have the power crystal, so it's not like it's gonna close.
Yep.
Can we hide that in the jungle somewhere in case they find us?
The ZPM.
Yeah. We could be questioning that out to Samantha as a possible idea.
I'm not completely against this idea. However, it might be useful for wherever we're going.
That is a great point.
Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head how many times a ZPM would come in handy during Atlantis.
So, Jordan and Meg kind of run up to the waterfall site. The water levels have dropped drastically to the point where you can almost just walk into the water up to. It's probably still like 4 or 5 feet deep, but you can stand right over that door panel.
Door panel. Door panel. Is this that square rock you were talking about? Jordan?
I think so. It was a lot wetter last time I saw it.
Still equally wet, but probably not quite as deep.
Yep. Yeah, the water has dropped down almost like 10 feet. So all the surrounding rock and everything is just moist from having been submerged recently, but now exposed. And as you walk into it, you can still go a little above the waist, but the door is just right there.
We probably should have had the drone
slab.
destroy the rock.
Well, we tried. I mean, if with more time, I could try to find the right commands, but I tried reactivating the waterfall with simple commands, and it didn't work.
Well, I think it was on the drone, not on the waterfall, is the thing. You probably needed to exit the drone before. Never mind. Anyway, how are we going to move this rock? Can I look around to see if there's any way to move the rock?
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
I kind of hoped the helicopter would stay at the base when it was after everything was blown up and their base was attacked, but I guess it took off again.
That would have been nice.
With a 4, you can see that there's a section where Jordan had previously cleared all the rock and debris, making kind of a little bit of an opening where water had gone into. There's that opening. As you kind of try to uncover some of the other rocks around it, there are anchor points that look like they had been, as this was lowered down or something at one point. Yeah.
Can we try to undo the anchor points?
Well, the anchor points are on the slab as a means of maybe tying something to it or potentially handholds or something.
To move it. Okay. Gosh. Do we have any thing that would act as a buoy that we could use to help lift this slab off of the ground? Or is the rock fully out from underneath the water?
The water is still slowly draining, so if you were to wait, maybe the water would completely disappear. But it seems that at the bottom of the shallows, it's taking longer.
Can we try to lift this collectively all together?
Some kind of lever and a fulcrum might help.
Gotta give you a style point for that good idea.
Yes. Let's do that. A lever and a what?
Fulcrum?
Fulcrum?
It's the pyramid that goes underneath the lever.
Oh, fulcrum. Okay. I didn't know what the term for that was. I see. Okay.
like a sturdy log or tree or stick or something like that, and a
My
rock.
investigation worked towards trying to find something that would
Yep.
work as a lever and a
Yeah,
fulcrum.
there's plenty of
We're in the jungle. I hope we don't need an investigation roll to find a stick.
yeah. No, she
No,
finds a
I
perfect
want
stick
a
though.
thick, long stick that will work as a lever, not just a stick. If any stick would do, I don't think I would need to roll. But
Yeah, you do.
a stick,
You can clearly
yeah.
see there's one that you can maybe wedge in, and if everybody were to heave, or maybe just Jordan.
Yeah, this sounds like
Just-
a job for Jordan. He is the
I imagine how we're helping out, but
despite having barely above average strength, he is the muscle of this team.
Gwen would still help, but he's the best at it.
Yeah. For does anyone have athletics of 4 or higher? Meg does not.
Jordan does, I think. I thought
no.
you wanted me to roll strength instead.
Oh, I guess
I
not.
just 3.
I mean, you rolled a 3. Strength is okay. That's fine. Um,
Athletics is 5, so it's
yeah, it's
within
about the same.
right?
So yeah, so you pop it, especially if the others are helping too. You feel it give, and then the rest of like the seal around it pops, and then just more water gushes in, and you can see that the lagoon is starting to drain a lot faster now. Do you want to hold it?
I guess so.
Okay. So
That's what's going to drain the.
Can I get a flashlight out of my bag?
yep, you can.
Jordan is visibly uneasy having to hold this thing because not because of the strength he's exerting. He just would really like to have a weapon out right now.
Can we try to get inside, or try to help him move it out of the way?
Yeah, you can roll a strength.
Which one do we want to do? Do we want to move it out of the way, or do we want to try to get inside?
I think we want to move it out of the way because if we get inside without moving it, it's going to trap us in there.
I'm gonna
Well-
roll intelligence for Gwen. So, not Gwen, sorry, for Meg. So okay, so Meg has an idea, and she goes and gets a decent sized rock, and like kind of hauls it over, and says, "Lift it up higher."
Oh. Okay.
Jordan, you're not lifting it up high enough. Lift it up higher.
Angry Jordan noises.
She wedges this like foot tall rock underneath, and then the slab kind of rests on it. And at this point, just the rest of the water has all gushed down into the hole.
How far down does the hole go?
Roll perception.
I use my flashlight, and I look down the hole.
Okay, 2. You can see like a giant drain. The water just glug, 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 downwards. It's all dark down there, and as the water continues to sink, it seems to eventually settle. With a 2, you also notice that the helicopter is over by the pyramid still, kind of whirring in the distance, and you can see that like troops are kind of trying to jump down since they don't have rappel lines or anything, and slide down the cliff to where the pyramid's at.
Okay. The water has settled in the bottom, as in it's a hole with water in the bottom.
That's what it appears to be currently.
Does it look like it's going down at all, or is it just staying where it's at?
Yeah, you can see this cylindrical tube. Like the edges of this is like a concrete base, and then there's a circle tube, and in there's a ladder that goes down.
I guess I'll start going down the ladder.
Okay. You descend about 6 to 10 feet, and then you feel your feet splash into the water.
Is there ground underneath where my feet are splashing?
The ladder just continues down.
Is the water going down at all?
Under current circumstances, no. If you wish to spend a style point, I am willing to alter that.
I will spend a style point. I will spend 2 if it goes down faster.
Okay. As you're down here, it sounds like you're in like a flushing toilet. It's like draining, and there's bubbles of air coming up still, kind of as it churns, but it is sinking.
Can I continue to go down with it as it sinks?
What about everybody else doing at the top?
I would go to Meg, and I know it is not the greatest thing without the player here. But
If
She's
I
not
no
here
longer
anymore.
need to hold this thing open,
It's been propped up now with that
It's been
rock, so
propped
if
up,
you
yeah.
want to let
yeah.
go, you are able
So
to.
I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna, gun in one hand, flashlight in the other, and get ready to go exploring.
Okay. She's going to squat down next to you as you're about to descend down the ramp, and Meg's going to say, Jordan, you and me have not always been on the same team, but right now, you go get the treasure. I'm going to kill these guys. And she's going to run off to the side of the jungle where she's going to... Oh, go ahead.
Leroy
Oh, Meg.
Jenkins.
What does Gwen say?
I was trying to talk to Meg.
Oh, I did not catch that. I'm sorry. Before this happens.
If I know, I mean, this is an idea with the player not being here, but she would say to Meg, it's like, do you think it'd be a good time to call Mr. X on the satellite phone, or I know you didn't entirely trust him.
Gwen does not trust him at all at this point. I think we should just find this treasure and make a decision what we do after that. Plus, with those mercenaries there, if they come down here, they're going to see us. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to ambush them. You guys go
Okay.
find the treasure. I'll follow.
She would quickly
I'll.
do a basic blessing on
The
her.
first time in a long time, Jordan is gonna just do what he's told and not argue, because it completely lines up with what he wants to do.
Get the treasure.
So,
Oh, I can do that in one round.
So Meg was about to take off to the edge of the thing, but when you kind of put your hand on her, she stops and like looks at you and like she's used to you doing this stuff now, and she has seen enough to where she just nods a thanks, and then she pulls out her Berettas and runs into the jungle.
I would follow the others down the ladder.
Okay.
And your lodestone probably went off too.
Yes, that's true. I always thank you for catching that. Jordan, you begin to descend the ladder. The light is only coming through that like 12-inch crack from the slab above you, and as you ladder down, your lodestone goes up, humming and vibrating from energy.
And your hands are on the ladder.
Down the ladder, she realizes what she did. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't tell you before.
My hands are on the ladder. Does it feel like wood or metal?
It's a metal. It's a slick metal, possibly all rusted. No, it was not rusted. It's just metal and wet.
Okay, so it's not like massive like tentacles that I just mistook for a rope ladder.
No,
good.
but as you try to descend more, you get stuck behind Samantha, and then Gwen's coming down behind you with a pretty big bag with the camera and stuff. Coming down at the top.
Apologizing for not telling you beforehand.
Right. Since I'm holding the ladder and it's awkward to hold a flashlight and climb a ladder, I'm gonna drop the flashlight and see if we can see the bottom.
Okay, Samantha, roll it. No, just kidding. The ladder goes down, splashes at your feet, and begins to sink down, illuminating this tube as it continues to go down, until it hits something at the bottom. You can estimate it's probably like 20 more feet as the water is still slowly recessing.
Do you want to just jump and get wet, Jordan? I can hold your bag. Can I just hold on to one side of the ladder and let him go around me if he wants to go?
There's
down
enough
past
room
me?
to do that. There's just only one ladder, so you can kind of let him pass down on one side and you're doing the other. It's a little cozy as you pass by each other, but yeah.
Anything you don't want to get wet?
I'm less worried about the water and more about what's in it, but
Well, if you get in it, you'll be in it.
at this point, Jordan's just gonna, once he's at a height where he can reasonably do so, he's just gonna drop in the water, pull out the tanto.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted me to hold?
No, because we've already determined that the gun isn't going to get destroyed by getting wet. So
Oh, just
So-
the ammo. Okay.
So you kind of splash down and begin to sink. Are you going head first or feet first?
feet first, because I don't know how deep it is, and that's how you get brain injuries, going head first
Okay.
into water you don't know the depth of.
Okay. So you are suspended in water, and if you kind of like push yourself down via the ladder, you get to the bottom, and you can see that there is a opening into what looks to be like some sort of underground cave or tunnel. Yeah. If you
Open
proceed
sesame.
into the passageway, I will copy you. Samantha and Gwen, are you just staying dry for now?
I think. How quickly is the water going down?
Relatively slowly.
My bag is mostly waterproof or not?
Well, it's survived 2 plane crashes in water and it hasn't ruined everything, so I'll give
Okay,
it to you.
I'm going. I'm going to follow him through the water.
Okay. So you should be able to see.
Since my bag survived 1 plane crash, is it actually also relatively waterproof?
Maybe the bag's not, but your medical kit is contained inside of it, maybe? How's that?
Do I have my clothes in a dry bag from years of camping?
Sure, I'm not going to make you burn a stat point. Yes, you can go in without getting absolutely all your
I
gear
just want
trashed.
the
Okay.
until it has a chance to dry off.
So it seems like we're all going in and trying to open a door, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
well, there's no door. It's just a passageway.
Okay.
It's now a flooded passageway.
What?
With the light, which you can pick up, the light doesn't go out. It's tightened enough to be waterproofed, and you can see that it just kind of stretches forward. There is a path that's been made in this tunnel, but you can see it's all rough walls.
It seems like we're gonna go for a swim, so I think I want to scope it out before I get air and try to make that trip.
Okay.
Because this is gonna suck if I drowned.
So go ahead and roll a survival check.
Hold on, let me get my character sheet open. Survival. Oh,
But
yes.
that does not go back far enough.
Okay. So you can see that the tunnel stretches forth ahead. You've got your own light too, right?
Yeah.
So for you, you can see the wall. The rock has been carved, reinforced in some places, and again, there is a path that you could follow if this were dry, and it leads straight on. And then up ahead, after a handful of meters, you can see that it rises back up, and you can see another ladder at that point and another tube. And with a 4
Okay.
survival, you are still have enough breath. You're not sure how high the water is on the other side, but if it's about the same as where it was at on yours, you can get there without going back for air.
I will go ahead and make that swim then.
Okay, so
I'm gonna follow her. Do I need to make an athletics check to swim?
I probably should
Samantha
make
has
you
all
all
the
roll
courage.
athletics checks. Yeah.
I think Samantha has the most courage because she hasn't seen anything like you guys have seen yet. I'm just imagining it being that way.
Yeah.
So,
I just assume if
survival?
Samantha's going, since
Athletics.
Jordan's the stronger swimmer, he'd probably follow, like,
Yeah.
pretty closely.
I'm not going to make you guys roll athletics checks because of you have got the light source and it's fairly open passageway. You can just make it. So as you go through, you get to another portion of tube with a ladder going up again. It feels like you've gone into where like the back towards the waterfall in terms of direction. We'll call that north, I suppose. And you do find another ladder, and as you climb up, you climb through the surface of the water inside the tube, and you gasp for air, and you can move back upwards.
And there's a bunch of seals.
Seals are not there. These are a bunch of bones and dead animals.
There are no seals here. This is not made in
They are
Japan.
seals of approval. Or powerful guardian seals.
Okay, I want to look around and kind of roll a perception.
Yeah, so as you get to the top, you kind of look around. You are in a domed room, all made out of rock. There's a big pool of water, which is probably almost not level with, but near where the surface would have been from the waterfall. But the tunnel stretches forth and goes into the mountain. And
I think we're up for a hike now.
yeah, it's not that far. With your light sources, as you begin to move towards it, you can see that it opens into a wide chamber, and at the end of which there is definitely man-made, big rectangular door. It's got carvings embossed into it. They definitely look Atlantean, and there's instead of the center, there's a big sphere, where as if the door was would open with a half moon, and then the sphere would be on one side of the door. And all around it is carvings into the doorway.
No
I look
one
at I look at Gwen and I ask what it says.
As they're walking to this door, Gwen would say, everyone be careful that no one has probably been in these tunnels for at least 30, 40 years. But we'll try to read the door once we get to it.
Okay. You all have lights, right?
I think
So-
I've got a torch of some kind.
So everybody can roll perceptions.
Good.
I'll just put you here for now.
Let's see if we see the monsters.
There was something about a guardian. The temple did say something about. Oh, that's right.
And Jordan is just wary. His lodestone's going off.
Mm-hmm.
In his experience, that's usually meant monsters or something trying to kill him until he met Gwen.
Yeah, I apologize for not being as focused and reminded of the lodestone. As you go through the underground tunnel and through that underwater chamber, the lodestone does diminish in its vibrations, and as you come back up, it begins to occur again.
Okay, so yeah, he's wary. He's got the Tanto in one hand, ready to go in case he needs to ninja anything.
So, upon moving towards this area with your various lights, you see the forms of more of the deceased figures outside here. There's a couple corpses kind of off to the side in a line. They seem to
Is
be
it like
wearing...
an organized line or an unorganized line?
They're an organized line. It looks to be more Japanese soldiers.
How dead are they? Like, are they really well preserved, like they could be zombies, or are they like...
Yep.
Put it this way, to quote the Wizard of Oz, are they nearly dead or really quite sincerely dead?
Yeah. To quote Princess Bride, are they only mostly dead?
They look dead. They look like they've been shot, and they are kind of all crumpled over.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
Execution style.
Can I roll a medicine to see if that's what actually happened?
You can, and then Jordan and Samantha, as you are shining your flashlights on, you do notice that etched in a circle around them is some sort of carved circle, and then behind them there is a little almost statue-like thing, but it's not a statue, it's like a podium, and then hanging on it is a golden emblem, like a big golden circle necklace.
All right. Jordan's scoundrel side is taking over. He's going right for the gold.
Wait!
Roll
Roll
willpower.
Roll initiative to see if you stop. If you
We could do initiative. I was gonna have you roll a willpower.
Oh no, I was thinking initiative just to see, was Gwen able to say stop before Jordan grabbed the gold?
Okay.
What is this? Secondary attributes?
Should be secondary attribute, and click your token to make it go in,
Oh, that's
or
a
I'll
nice
add you.
initiative.
Okay, Gwen a
Okay.
4.
I assume
Jordan,
Gwen at least is able to say something before Jordan grabs it.
He does, and then I'm gonna have you roll the willpower save, or the willpower roll,
Okay.
because I really like having you roll willpower.
All right.
I'm trying to find initiative.
Initiative second attribute.
Oh, there we go. I found it. There we go. Wow. That what in the world happened?
Continuous 10?
What does that mean?
I've never seen that before.
There's a continuous initiative thing. I've never used it. It's in the book somewhere.
Oh,
Okay.
so every time you do a round, you have to re-roll?
No, I just use your regular initiative. There's a roll for a different initiative system in the book that
Huh.
I've never seen anyone use in all the years I've been playing this game.
Okay,
Oh.
well, we'll just go with the 1. What'd you roll for willpower? 3? Yeah, so you stop, as Gwen calls. You're right at the line about to go for that gold. I'll draw the line in.
If this is anything like the last one we found, taking that gold will turn any dead bodies within the circle into zombies. So
Are you-
we've
So
pull bodies out of the circle and then take the gold, but I do want to check out the shrine first.
Or we could just leave the dead bodies and go through the door.
yeah, but we're here for a treasure. This looks like one.
The treasure that should be behind that door should be significantly more than that.
Does this look like the same thing in the other place?
I
It
like
definitely
Gwen.
does.
I like the idea of if Gwen thinks moving these bodies will make it safe to take this piece of treasure, I say we take this and then we'll get more.
From my understanding of this magic, last time we didn't do it, but from my understanding, if the bodies are outside the circle, they shouldn't be affected when the treasure is taken.
Let's move 2 of them outside the circle and leave 1 in. We can deal with 1. And that'll test whether, your theory works. The 2 outside stay dead and the 1 inside wakes up. You're onto something.
Right, I had a quick question, but my Discord closed real quick. Did the ones that had woken up go outside of the circle?
Afterwards, yes, but I think they just trigger. I think it only triggers the initial waking inside the circle.
How many circles are there down here, Adrian? Are there 4
There's
or
one.
is it just one? Just
There's
one.
one.
Okay. Or we could remove their heads, bury them.
Or create headless zombies. But I mean,
Well, throw them into each other after you take their heads off.
I like what Jordan said about I pull out my pistol if I see if I can try to remove this one from the circle.
Okay.
And I also have my bow out and ready.
Yep, you can all prepare. And Gwen, how far do you want to drag it?
Just out there is fine.
Yep, you do so. It's a dead body. It's light. It's wearing a Japanese uniform. It has a rifle, which is just kind of left behind there unless you want to move it. Seems to be a bolt action, some sort of Mauser or something.
Remove this one as well and then disarm this one.
Okay. Yeah, you could do so. Toss the guns out of the way.
As far as I'm concerned, if you want to take that treasure, you can.
Is there only one dead body inside here, or are there more than one dead
There were
body?
3. The X's are all dead bodies.
Did you get rid of all of the dead bodies?
There's 1 still remaining inside.
I think we leave 1 because if we move
Can I
them
take
all,
its gun?
Yep, there's a rifle. It's a 3L weapon. Requires,
Can I
I
also
think, a
take-
2 strength.
Can I take the ammo from the other guns too, if at all possible, if there's ammo
Yep.
in them?
Yeah, they all have 5-round clips,
I'll take
which
all of them.
is actually a clip, not a magazine, because this is a top loader Mauser. I think it's a Nagant. What's the Japanese World War II rifle? A Type 99 rifle, bolt action.
So Jordan, with 2 of the bodies moved, Tonto in one hand, other hand going for the treasure, slowly giving the others a chance to react. Takes the treasure.
I would have my bow ready.
Okay. Yeah, you're all kind of prepped and ready. As you take the treasure, the one remaining zombie kind of bones snap and move involuntarily, and then as if some unseen puppeteer lifts it up, it kind of like stands to the top. Gwen, what do you do?
Move over here and shoot.
Okay, go ahead and take your shot. You can have a +2 for aim because you are all prepared for this round.
Guns are down here. That's... Oh, I didn't roll the +2.
You can add up 1 to it, or you can reroll. I'll let you choose.
Guess I just added 1.
Okay. Okay. You shoot, and the 38 special kind of punches through the uniform, punches out the back. You can see a bunch of dust, almost not blood and gore. It's just like a powder behind. He does not go down. Jordan.
Jordan. Oh, that's right. I mainly just use my Tonto for subtle strike. So karate. And I get a +1 to this because it's part of his martial arts style.
Okay. Now, if this thing has a 2 defense, how's that possible? He doesn't have any dexterity as a zombie?
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he doesn't have any defense then, because second attack, diff 2 minus 2 is a 0.
Yeah, but zombies are immune to non-lethal damage. I'm just not metagaming, and
I will give you a style point for that.
And Jordan is, frankly, he had the Tonto out, and he kind of realized last minute that he didn't actually know how to fight with this thing. He mostly just sneaks up and stabs. Up close, he usually defaults to his martial arts, so that's what he does.
Do you have the feat to make it not lethal?
I do not have the feat to make his martial arts lethal.
Okay. So you kick it, and it kind of falls backwards to the ground outside of the circle from the power of the kick, but it is not dead.
Adrian, I didn't realize we were somewhere else. I was still looking at the seals in the cave. Could I have moved myself?
Yeah, you can position yourself
closer?
wherever you want.
Okay. I would have been here instead of where I was. It's not that far away, but I
Yeah.
would have liked to have been
No,
here
that's fine.
starting. Okay. Can I also shoot my bow at
You may.
creature?
What happens if he gets a -2 to his defense and he has a 0 defense?
Could I just say I aim for the neck and call it even?
I don't know. I've never had someone's defense get reduced to 0.
I will give you a +1 on your attack then. The average of the penalty as a bonus to you.
Wait a second. Maybe the penalty is only to active defense, in which case it would do nothing. Let me check.
Either way, she'd get the +2 from aiming, so because she's got an aiming weapon. So go ahead and roll.
I'll do it with a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a penalty to his active defense. So the most you could do is reduce his active defense to 0.
Yeah.
And he just rolled passive.
Okay. So with that,
Dexterity, it's a moo point.
yeah. It's very moo, and he goes moo and dies. How do you kill him? Through the neck, you said?
Yeah, I would have. That was my original idea. Is
Okay.
taking off their heads kind of renders them relatively useless.
Well, you break the spinal column, and the neck kind of like jerks forwards, and it falls down to the ground. It is not moving any longer.
Congratulations, Jordan. You have a necklace that brings the dead back to life. Okay, what does that door say?
I know plenty of people who'd pay for that.
Well,
Ability.
it's more of the circle and the, the spell carved into that rock and fueled by the wealth of the gold, I think, than the actual necklace. But if you see anything more like that, just pull the bodies out of the circle before taking it.
What does the door say? Actually, do I have any camera, or is Gwen the only one with the camera?
Gwen was the one with the camera.
Okay. Did you ever take a picture of the circles? Because I feel like that would be useful information. Yeah.
I took a picture of the one up at Breach 6. I didn't take a picture of this one.
It's probably the same thing if you got a picture of the other one then.
It's also
I would be curious to look
dark
into
and
it later.
flashy with the lights. A lot of shadows. Not super conducive for photos.
Gwen would have her torch flashlight for those who want British in one hand, but then she would also take a lantern out and set it down
Okay.
in
Yeah.
front of the.
If you light a lantern, that illuminates a lot more widely than flashlights, and you can see this big sphere embedded into these doors. There's a definite door seam at the top and the bottom, and then the sphere is just inside of both of those. The language around the door is all in Atlantis and Atlantean, and you can see like the images of it is almost like hieroglyphics, showing many people or bodies like moving, and then that big sphere, which is just it actually protrudes from the door. It's like an actual circle has been placed into the ball. So if you go up to it and touch it, the doors are like back here, and you can the ball is a lot bigger, and the ball is also like 8 feet wide. These doors are very large, so maybe not 8 feet, maybe it's like 6 feet.
Are we talking like like an ancient turnstile door, like department stores have?
Gwen might think so because it's perfect circle. The hieroglyphics show the people moving from the left, and then the big circle is nothing in there, and on the right, it looks like almost some sort of religious showing, like for people going into like the light or something on the right side.
Is this something?
That's where you came from, the tube with the ladder.
Oh, okay.
I drew that in later.
So there's a lake over here as well.
Yeah, it's like the water has all been saturated over there.
So what does the door say?
The door has more drawings than actual like words. It would say,
Speak, friend, and enter.
in Elvish. No.
Melon.
What kind?
It
Watermelon? Cantaloupe?
Probably
would probably
watermelon.
say something like blessings in the next life.
Blessings in the next life. Is this a tomb?
One direction. The secret path. I think it repeats those ones, but on the top it says blessings in the next life.
Blessings in the next life. Is this a tomb?
Did you say it did? Would you have said out loud it one direction?
Yeah, she would have after saying that, she would repeat the other thing, one direction.
Do you think that once we go through a door, we can't come back?
Oh. not. That's possible. But I'm sure there might be. But there's probably an exit, another way out. Unless it really is designed to just be a tomb and those that go in never come out.
Well,
That would be a horrible place to hide treasure.
you're not wrong. But did they, when they hid the treasure, ever think that they would be getting it back? Can I roll a history to see if I know that? Not that I know very. Actually, I probably don't know very much about this treasure, but I'll roll it.
Can roll history.
I roll a history, yeah. Academics, history.
Okay, and what are you trying to remember from your history, specifically about this?
When Yamashita hid his treasure, did he think he was ever going to get it back? Or did he think he was just making it so nobody else could get it?
You know that Yamashita knew that he had lost the war. The Japanese army had lost the war, and this was them smuggling treasure to prevent it from falling into the Allies' hands. Yamashita was eventually captured and either tried and shot or tried and hung. I forget. I think he was tried and shot for war crimes or something like that.
So, if Yamashita never thought he would get his treasure back, and he was just hiding it to be spiteful, there might be a possibility this is a one-way door. In which case...
Jordan?
In which case... And Jordan kind of looks down at the treasure he's holding. So in which case, this might be the only treasure we leave with.
Well... Unless one of us wants to go through that door.
There is no handholds on the door, as far as you can tell. The lodestone is also still humming quietly against your skin.
So I have multiple,
So it's still humming even though all the monsters are taken care of?
Correct.
Right. That's
Are there multiple tapes for my video camera I could change out?
Probably. Let me see. 1930s.
Can I get a random thing out of my backpack that I don't necessarily think will be useful? Or actually, here, let me just pick up a rock.
Yes, you do have more. Sorry. Go.
And can I gently toss the rock at the center of the circle?
The sphere, the circle with Jordan, or?
No, the by Gwen,
through the one-way portal.
Oh,
yeah. If there's
so
a one-way.
It's not a portal. It's almost like a sphere of marble is embedded in the door.
Okay.
And so it hits that and just bounces off.
Okay.
It's not like a disintegration hole that you can climb through.
Playing 5e with different DMs, you can never be too careful.
Jordan's going to take his machete, not his tanto, his machete.
Okay.
And he's going to basically try to, get it under that sphere and see if he can kind of not pop it out because it looks huge, but pop it out.
Oh.
Kind of affect it somehow.
Yeah, see if he can.
I think rotating it would be the best way to deal with it. Can I roll a perception if there's anything else around here?
You may.
While Jordan is trying to...
There is enough light, so yes, you can roll perception.
My light just died, I think.
What'd you roll?
0.
Yeah, the water leaks into your flashlight batteries and it flickers as you shine it on the water, and it just kind of goes dark with a ripple.
Well, that sucks. Can I just take my flashlight apart and just... Yeah.
Try to let the battery dry.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you are distracted from that occurrence and do not see anything else.
I mean, this is a Japanese treasure room. We might have a bowl of rice we could put it in.
I was thinking the same thing. Do I have a bowl of rice?
If you want to spend a style for that. Sorry, go ahead. Gwen.
I think we could possibly turn the stone, and there might be a door. Like pushing a big ball or But while she's changing tapes out on the VHS while she's
Mm-hmm.
suggesting that.
Okay. Everyone roll perception.
Okay.
Okay. Carry on. Oh, Gwen. You looking around, especially as Samantha has taken some time to look through around the different areas and while distracted from the flashlight, you also decide to take a kind of look around, and in here you do find amongst the different rocks and everything, and especially as you're on the south side, there is over here what looks to be kind of stuffed in between two rocks is a leather-bound like journal, and then over here on the door. Hold on. There's some sort of panel potentially that could be moved. With a 5, you can find that.
She would point both out, and she will grab the journal.
Okay. That's leather bound. It's worn and aged a little bit. As you open it, I do not believe you speak the language.
What's the language? Is it... Jordan speaks Japanese.
It is not in Japanese. Pretty sure Gwen would probably be able to tell what language it is, honestly. It is in German.
Jordan doesn't speak German, but he knows the swears.
Is this the doctor? What's his name? I tried to scroll up and couldn't find it, but it's the journal of the Van whatever.
Vanderhyde.
Actually, it's probably true. Growing up on an American military base, Jordan probably does know the swears in German.
Probably. That seems very likely. Vanderhyde.
Yes, if the word like Scheiße is there, he definitely knows that.
Anyone speak German? I think I found Dr. Vanderhyde's journal.
Spanish.
Remind me who that is, because I don't think I've heard that name before.
Well,
he was...
30 years ago, there seemed to be the evidence that the German, so the people who were in this cave, the Japanese, had someone who knew about Atlantean culture in this expedition, a German. And my contacts back home, looked through some files, and there was a German by the name of Major Van der Heide that was a scholar in this back in the time of World War II.
And Grandpa did inform us that there was one day that a German did show up, but it was only one day.
So, mad German scientist from World War II. I did not see that coming. Jordan doesn't laugh at his own joke, but I can't help it.
So basically, that is what Steve records. A little saying something like that is basically what Steve records on the second tape and then takes it out.
Alright, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Jordan is going to try the doorway to nowhere.
Yeah. Samantha is also ready to go. Should we open this door?
I'm gonna try this after recording that message on the
This is
VHS.
Jordan's flaw of becoming bored easily, taking over. It's like nothing ventured, nothing gained. He pushes through the doorway to nowhere.
Okay. Roll. Go. Sorry, Eric, you were trying to talk too.
I do want to look at this, but I want to create that videotape for
Okay.
Mia in case this is a one-way door.
Okay, so you roll an investigation, and for Jordan and Samantha, I will have you both roll.
Though it does bring the point that if somebody brought through treasure, they would have had to bring it through physically.
I might have you just roll charisma checks. Primary attribute.
Charisma.
Oh, great. That's one of the attributes that I am not good at. Oh, wait. No, it's not. It's one that I'm good at.
Okay. 4 and 4. And then investigation of 3. So Gwen, as you're able to open this panel, you figure out that it's like a certain type of pressure points to click it, and then the door, like a piece of the door, can slide. And inside you see that there's an opening, empty, but an opening about, I don't know, roughly
CPM size.
ZPM size.
The size of a ZPM.
But it is empty, and with 4s, it is going to wake up from that. As you put significant pressure on the door, trying to push, trying to touch, trying to pull. The cavern's lit by the lamp Gwen had put just behind you, and Jordan still has his flashlight. So those are the light sources, and then all of a sudden a red glow coming from above you kind of turns on, and you hear and this marble-looking sphere in the door on the top piece, an opening kind of opens out, and one of those pyramid-looking drones emerges, and it's illuminating red light everywhere. There's mechanical noises and vibrations in the door. Jordan and Samantha, what do you do?
Back up.
You back up? Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan's going to fall back ever so slightly.
Okay. And Gwen? You're off to the side of it, but you can see this happening, and then the sphere begins to kind of like shift.
Gun out. I would tell Samantha that there's a hole for ZPM there.
Seems to be working fine without a ZPM, though. Is the light supposed to be red?
Both cultures in the back.
Can I get out the ZPM to see if the light changes if I hold it?
1 second. I am about to do something.
When all of this happens, does my lodestone react more?
Yes, very much more. It's beginning to hum and pulse and feel almost hot. As the giant onyx ball has multiple compartments kind of retract and open, but not another like drone head comes out, but giant legs as it detaches itself from the doorway, and a giant like ball-looking Omnidroid type thing comes up.
I was going to say, is that the thing from The Incredibles?
It's definitely
it's
the
a
thing
stand-in,
from The
but
Incredibles.
basically it's an
The
Omnidroid.
thing from The Incredibles wearing a glowing dunce cap. Let's
And you can feel very scared right now. I give you permission.
Okay.
Initiative.
We're not keeping our old initiative? Okay,
reroll.
I'm fine with that. Okay.
I'm also going to change the music. I don't like this one.
I should have looked up what the Guardian was.
Try.
Is what she thinks to herself.
How
At
about
this
use
point,
this
Jordan
for
is scared,
battle music?
but he does think the pyramid on its head looks like a dunce cap, and that mildly amuses him.
Okay, not that one.
Could I still have gotten out my ZPM?
Yeah, because as it's activating, you could have done that.
Could I? Okay. Would I have enough time to try to insert the ZPM into
Nope.
the? No. Okay.
I'll just do this one. I like this one. Initiative is dexterity plus intelligence?
Intelligence.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 1. Jordan, what is your dexterity? Actually, no. In this game, I think heroes just go first, right? Before enemies?
It goes based
Or is it
on dexterity, and then if it's another tie, heroes go first.
Okay, so I've got a 4 dex.
Yeah, you go before me.
Okay. Okay. Gwen does react first after this as the arms kind of come out, and then it pulls itself free of the spherical door opening.
Is it a -4 for the divine blessing?
So are you casting it on yourself?
Yeah. I'm not close enough to
So major blessing is -2, divine is -4. Divine would give you a +8 on yourself.
But I can touch myself, physically touch myself. So I want to back up against the wall, and as I'm doing that, the heal roll well. -2.
Okay. Do you want to counteract any with style too, or no?
Oh, sure. Let's put 2 style points in there to give me this 0.
Okay. And Jordan, you have this gold coin, right? You have the gold necklace?
Yes.
Okay.
Hating that question, but yes.
3 towards the total of 5 I need.
Okay. So you begin to chant to yourself. Are you chanting in Egyptian?
If you probably only know that one in Egyptian, so that's probably what it's from. Yeah.
Okay. Samantha.
Samantha's gonna go over and try to try to put that ZPM in the door
Okay,
to see if that.
So you move up, and then I said you could have gotten it out already, right?
Yeah.
So you move and try to action to put in.
Yeah.
Okay. You plug in the ZPM, and it begins to light up. This time you do not get shocked, as putting it in seems to be different from yanking it free. And as you do, all the runes and carvings on the door illuminate and begin to glow.
Doesn't do anything about big bad monster that's trying to kill us?
No. It steps out, and then it swings one of its arms at Jordan. Roll defense, please.
Okay. Defense. I'm gonna put my point into defense. Why is it not letting me put my points into defense? Oh, there we go. Defense.
How many style? You have a lot of style. Are you just using one?
No, I'm putting 2 in.
Okay.
Because you don't want to die with style points.
Okay.
And defense.
Okay. You take the hit and are sent flying kind of off towards the circle area. You take 1 point of lethal damage, and the thing kind of like re-steps around like a spider, kind of, so it comes out a little and it looks back. The drone-looking head looks down towards Samantha. Jordan.
Jordan does not think he can beat this with a karate kick. He is pulling out his gun.
Okay.
And kind of moving away from it a little bit. Give himself a better angle to shoot it in the dunce cap. Again, Jordan's focused on that because that's the one thing, like the one funny thing that keeps him from finding this completely terrifying.
Okay. Are you doing a called shot? Or
No, I'm pulling out my gun and falling back. That's
Oh,
don't
right,
think
right.
Jordan-
All
Yeah.
of
I
our
think Jordan has
initiative
quick
just
draw.
changed to SP.
Yeah, sorry about that. You're a
Yeah,
1,
Jordan doesn't have
Gwen
quick
was
draw.
3, you're a 2, it was 1.4. Okay, there. Okay, so you draw and move back. Gwen.
Hopefully finishing this ritual.
Okay.
I will put 1 style point in because I only have 1 left, but it's still a -1. Okay, that's enough to finish it.
Okay.
And then I would probably still just move more into the corner as she's finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
But and finishing the most powerful of the forms of the blessing, her eyes probably glow slightly.
That's
as
awesome.
she did it, and just maybe a slight symbol of the Eye of Ra.
Okay, that's cool. I'm giving you style because that's badass. Gwen's turn is over. Samantha.
Samantha wants to look and see if there's any way to get through this door.
Okay. Roll a perception.
Perception. 4.
Okay. You notice that with the ZPM plugged in, there is, it looks like, another panel that's above it. So there's like 2 compartments. One of the carvings would actually have to be slid over, but there's another like door panel.
Can I try to get in there?
Yeah, Eric, what did I make you roll for that? Was it investigation? So yeah, roll investigation.
Investigation. I'm probably about to be thwacked in my back, though. I really don't want to be thwacked in my back.
Okay.
2.
2. You trying to find a way to slide it open, and you aren't able to find those pressure plates that Gwen was able to.
Since I didn't move, do I get a bonus to my defense?
I think that's an action to do, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Yeah, you'd have to take total defense.
Okay. I'm about to get hit.
Okay, you are.
But maybe I should move.
Spend your style points. Don't die with style points.
Oh, it's about to attack you.
I have
You can
5
move if you wish. Where do you want to move?
1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh. 5.
Okay. It steps down 1, 2, and then one of its arms swings up and tries to smack Samantha. Roll your
lovely.
defense.
Can I add 2 style points to my defense?
You may.
Oh wait, no, I just need to add 1. That's not too bad. Your 5 was way worse.
Okay.
1.
It hits you on the shoulder and knocks you to the ground, and you eat rock. You take 1 point of lethal damage. It is then Jordan.
Alright. Jordan is taking aim. Just narratively
Yeah.
taking aim, not like as an action. He's trying to shoot it in the glowing weak spot.
Okay.
Video games haven't been invented yet, but that's probably still a thing that goes through Jordan's mind.
Okay. You see kind of a spark hit as you are accurate and you hit the red pyramid sensor thing, which causes it to spin around in your direction. It does not look dead or near dead.
Okay. I think I made it mad. What I was going for.
Taking aim is an action, or that's the -2?
If you take aim, you'll get a bonus +2 on the next turn. If you're shooting, if you're using, what are you trying to do?
I do kind of want to target the I mean, if there's a way to try to target
Yeah.
the red.
So you can do a called shot, a called shot to a vital area, which means you have to surpass its defense in total in one roll. If you do so, then you do maximum damage to it.
So it's basically you take its entire defense as a penalty to your roll, and then anything over that is pure damage.
Honestly, I want to go for that.
Okay. So
Uh,
it has an 8 defense, so you take
okay,
a minus
so
8 to your roll, which
but I get a
cancels out your
+8.
bless.
Instead of get a +8 from because of the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Use your style points. Use your style points.
Okay, let's use the last style point, and then so roll this +1, 3 damage.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
This is your gun.
is that right?
You used one style, so it's +8, or +9 minus 8, so that would be correct. And then did you shoot your gun?
Yeah,
And you're shooting the 38, not the giant one, right?
yeah, the 38.
Yeah. So then yes, that would be correct. So you rolled 3 successes on the remaining dice. That takes a solid shot straight through. You can see the flicker of the red dot as it seems to be much more damaged.
So, oh, okay. So that was. I'm confused how that column inside helped, but okay.
I'm thinking what I remembered too. Are you sure it's not max damage on a called shot if you beat their defense? Adam?
What's that?
I kind of want to double check that because I thought called shot was max damage if you beat their defense.
No, it's you. Yeah,
So
you
when you make a called shot to hit a
subtract their
specific.
called shot to a vital area is. Character really wants to hurt his opponent. He can make a called shot to hit a vital area. He suffers a penalty on his attack roll equal to his opponent's full defense rating, but successes rolled automatically inflict damage on the target. If your modified dice pool is 0 or less, your character's attack automatically misses.
So what's the benefit of doing a called shot?
It doesn't. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a benefit of it from it. Then.
Generally, some things require a called shot to kill them, like vampires. If you have talents that reduce the penalty, it becomes much more worth it.
I think I'm gonna kind of modify.
Case, it rolls 8 to its defense. Not all of those are going to be successes.
Yeah, so that seems almost worse.
It's generally only advisable if you have a character that's kind of built for that, like if you have the right talents.
Like it should be though that it's doing more damage. And like in this scenario, the head is the weak spot comparative to the body. So like I feel like if it's rolling 8 dice on its defense against normal, the called shot would bypass most of that and it would inflict more damage.
Would like so yeah, he takes a -8 and then everything he rolls is damage. So
What are you doing?
You guys are just taking a while, so I'm entertaining myself.
Okay.
yeah, so if you were going to do something like that,
I'll start and just go.
make it worth it. Pour your style points into it and stuff like that.
Do you just want to do it as a normal shot and just roll the dice, and I'll roll the defense?
That makes.
I think that.
Yeah. Okay, so normal shot +8.
Yeah, well,
It's not,
+9
because
because you have the style.
in every situation. I'll admit that much.
Yeah, unless I mean I don't really want to go back and say a called shot's gonna insta kill it because that's kind of anticlimactic. But let's just.
Really, that many ones?
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give you the ones that you got. So that was. That still doesn't feel super right. It is heavily injured after taking this shot through basically through the
We have
head.
a modifier of 9.
Because you
Because I
did
think
the level 4 bless.
Oh.
It's the one that you never let me do in your game, Adam, where I become
Oh.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is extremely damaged and kind of like unstable on its legs now. Samantha.
Kind of jealous of Gwen becoming God over there. Anyway, this thing is between me and the exit. My bow, I assume, is still out. Can I draw and fire, please?
Well, you had one, or well, no, because you put the ZPM in, so you'd have to get it out.
Well, I had the rapid reload thing, and I think I still had my bow out, like, because I would have had my bow out in one hand.
Do you want to spend a style point and say yes?
Fine, I'll spend this time.
Okay. Yep.
And I shoot.
Okay.
I go shoot.
And this is the second attack on it.
It didn't have a modifier.
Yeah, it's not prompted. Sorry, I'm rerolling. There we go. Okay. Well, that is a little unexpected, but a bow and arrow through the gunshot hole that Gwen had made, spikes through and gets lodged inside of it, and then it flickers and the legs
out.
Yeah, the legs buckle and it just collapses.
Also, on the topic we were discussing, another great time to use a called shot to a vital area is after the active defense has been lowered a couple of times.
Yeah, that's a good
Like,
idea.
I was about to pour all of my style points into it, and it would have been
Oh.
awesome, but it's okay. I'll kill the next thing in an awesome way. I'm not pouting at all. I'm pouting a little.
Legolas down here has been pretty good at that moment. So, that was the Guardian.
Well, can I go up and, like, examine this thing and try to get my arrow back?
You can if you want to go up and try to like climb over to where it's at. The red pyramid is like slid down and pulling it free. A bunch of wires and sparks kind of zap around it.
Is there a way to open up this ball?
There doesn't seem to be a way to open it from what you can tell. I mean, you can roll investigation.
I'm wondering if it has another power source in it.
Does it get 3 CPMs to power the place?
Just so we're clear, that's a robot, right? Like, those are real now?
Whatever it is, it was real, but so was the zombie that came at you, so I'm questioning reality at this point.
Okay. I mean, I've seen The Walking Dead before, but robots? That's new.
I feel like robots seems more plausible than Walking Dead. As a doctor, at least.
Yeah, well, we're just beginning to scratch the surface of how advanced they were.
Yeah, with
Well,
your
is there anything to cure the dead before they become dead? That would be even better than Walking Dead.
Like, I've seen The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's a robot. Like, that's a real live, not live anymore robot. Like, we're all in agreement on that, right?
I don't think there was a question about that in the first place.
Yeah, let's investigate the robots.
With for Samantha, you can see that there's like the 5 arm openings where they've all gone limp. They seem to be able to retract to the inside to make a perfect sphere, and then the opening where the head was, one of those pyramid things, can be retract into it as well and be completely made sphere. The pocket where the door is does have an indent for it to sit in, and you can see now that there's an even line within that the door is still open, probably inwards towards you.
Wait. The door over here or
Yeah.
a door for the robot?
The door over here, where it was sitting. Like
Is this
even
still the same scene?
what?
Is this still the same scene?
The door is still closed, but the robot spot is now empty, so now it's like the opposite indent in the other direction. And the lodestone is humming very minorly now.
Okay, so when the robot came out, it didn't just leave a gaping hole we could walk through.
No, there's like a recessed backplate.
Okay.
Is this still the same scene?
Yeah, because you haven't left the room.
Okay, did I notice the going back around to the other side? Other than it turning lights on, did putting the ZPM in here do anything else?
Visibly, no. A Gwen maybe looking around, especially with her enhanced state of mind. She can see that there is that panel above, which seems to house like another keyboard type thing. The machine, the robot, is dead. There's not really a way to open it up, short of like taking off the head or detaching one of the arms and trying to get inside. It doesn't seem to have any way to like open in half or anything. It probably does have a power source inside, but there's no way to do it without spending time to try to dissect, take out the head, and like get inside the body. What else do you want to know with an investigation?
First, I listened to the robot, and then I just going over to help Samantha, but she was looking at the door before I was.
The keyboard. There's something that opened, and I don't know how to open it.
Gwen, it's the same style before, and with your 10, and you open it, and another like keyboard comes out. And as you try to mess with it, there's a bunch of sparks emit from the robot behind you, and like a kind of a flicker of light, but it can't work anymore.
It's probably for the best. Probably holds grudges, given our luck.
Gwen probably has not said any. In this, since spelled off, probably not said anything. If she said anything to you, she's probably spoken in ancient Egyptian, and just kind of it seems kind of aloof at the moment, kind of out of it.
Yeah, your eyes are also glowing, and because of the spell, actually, Jordan, your lodestone is still humming. I keep forgetting all the different magical aspects of the scene.
It's fine. If basically I'm playing it as if Jordan's thinking to check the lodestone, I'll ask you, so don't stress.
So can we pull up?
Unless it's like going so crazy that he couldn't help but notice, in which case, tell me.
Eric?
Can we use this panel to open the door?
You want to try?
Ideally,
There's no holo screen or anything, but you've got the keyboard.
It can open.
The doors begin to open. And there's not a whole lot left. Do you guys want to finish and take a little bit longer, or you want to end here and do one final session?
I am good either way.
I can do either.
I don't have any maps prepped beyond this, so it just end up being imagination. But
Good either way. If you want to do maps, I'm also completely on board with Theater of the Mind.
Well, this is the last week before Emily starts school.
I kind
So
of
do we want to finish
wouldn't
it
mind
now?
finishing up. There's not a whole lot left, like I said. So
Good to put forward.
So before you is a very large room, almost like like you've come out and then it drops down. There's like a big scaffold made out of like wood planks and everything. To Gwen, this looks very old, older probably than anything the Japanese or whoever would have made. And it descends down into a big hollowed out structure. There's no lights that are activated on, so it's just from you holding your lantern up that you see this. Stretched out before you is a platform, and then a big scaffold with staircase descending down, probably about 3 stories. And then on the bottom is a big, just open room, at the back of which you can see steps rising back up onto like a dais, and there is a large ring.
As Gwen steps to the door, she kind of stumbles and kind of stops, and her eyes fade back to normal.
Yep.
But then when she looks up, more with her own consciousness, she goes, "It's incredible."
Yeah. Behind Jordan, the lodestone begins to kind of fizzle back down a little bit. It's kind of emptying of the magical energy sensing around you. And Samantha, as you are close to here after all the excitement, I will need you to also roll a body check.
Oh, lovely. 2.
Um, through all the excitement, or maybe that's was related or not, but you feel kind of that clenching sensation in your chest as you feel a little ill. Not anything that's going to be stopping you from proceeding or anything, but that ache is noticeable once again.
Does the medical professional, does Samantha know she's having a heart attack?
She knows
Aware.
she's not doing very well, but she can power
She's
through it.
Swear.
in game, I'm assuming. I'm assuming she has some kind of terminal illness that she hasn't told us about.
Not far off, yeah. Some sort of terminal illness.
But yeah, Samantha, Gwen's the only one who's kind of passed through into this very large chamber.
Do you think that we might need this further in? I say, pointing to the ZPM.
Does it have any power left in it?
It's flickering. Your lodestone can pick up that it's on the very last of its power.
I think bring it. Like, there might be something.
Take it out
Could
unless the
recharge it.
door starts to close as you take it out.
The door's open. I don't think unless you type in close, it'll close. Can I grab a cloth to not get electrocuted when I try to pull it out this time? Something that would
Sure. You can,
not
now that you're aware of it, you can
not
do it a little bit more carefully,
baffling.
unless there's anything you want to do with the keyboard.
Can you
Oh,
type in map?
map or
Map.
You want to type in
Chart. Map.
chart. Either one. You
Map or chart?
click, enter. Just more from the device behind you, the big bot, and then on the second attempt, it just completely fails, and there's no more sparks from the head from that thing.
Oh. So this was the control panel for the robot.
apparently.
Okay, is the ZPM...
The basis of the technology. I guess everything is done by drones?
Maybe. Does the ZPM still have power in it?
Just a little bit. It's still on that last bit.
Okay.
Can we do eject hardware? Like
No.
we're ejecting the flash drive?
You want to try? Roll a linguistics check.
at all.
It does not seem to work. The commands are still being received, but the projector thing is just broken.
Tried
Funny.
turning it off and turning it back on.
Let me... Oh, okay.
Or maybe, actually, this is the 70s. This is the 70s. Jordan knows how to fix busted electronics in the 70s. He goes over and he smacks it.
The ZPM?
I knew that was coming. No, the robot.
Whatever, yeah.
Okay.
Gwen's like trying to type to try to get it working. Jordan just goes over and he gives it a good whack, like he's the Fonz and it's a jukebox.
Okay, let's see. No, it's dead. I can't have you roll initiative again. No, you don't wake it back up. But yeah,
It's X to Fonz.
yeah. If you type a couple more commands, yeah, it doesn't seem to be detaching the ZPM. So you can either just take it out, or if you want to keep trying commands, up to you.
I'll just take out the ZPM at this point.
Okay. Roll body.
I had a thingy-mabob.
Is it rubber?
Probably not. Probably a couple layers of cloth.
No, body is to
Their
give you the
cloth is
chance.
probably still drenched, so it might actually make things worse.
Yeah, you take another one non-lethal. Just like, but you're able to remove it. So you have the ZPM.
Would I be able to just put that in my bag and take out my medical kit and
Yes,
do
you can.
some
You can. Just put some ointment on it.
yeah,
Some
my
healing
burn
herbs.
and whatever other injuries I received. A thwack across the chest. For the
Oh, that's
robot.
right. Yeah, if you want to roll medical, you can.
Yeah, those I mean, we put a lot into our defense there, but that thing could have hit really hard.
Yeah. And
Yeah, does
then
Jordan look like he needs some medicine before I put it away?
he took a
Jordan
thwack. Not.
took one hit. I'm imagining there's like one like slash mark across his shirt. You can see like scarlet billows starting to spread, but it really probably is just a scratch. It's not deep. He's probably had worse. From Meg.
Whenever they meet each other for the reunion.
I would say we were lucky to take that thing down so quickly.
Yeah. Like Jordan and Meg definitely in the past have had like that Malcolm and Patience thing where it's like, last time she shot you. I don't take it personal.
That was a little legitimate conflict of interest.
I guess after that I would walk into the room.
Okay. Yeah, as you go through, did you take Gwen's lamp?
Gwen, could I have taken the lamp that you put down? You have a flashlight too, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So light cascades down into this area. At the bottom, you see tons of gear, leftover rope, beams, carts, even different like crane mechanisms and stuff that have all been assembled more recently than the main portion of the structure. But you see a bunch of discarded like crates and pieces of equipment at the bottom, all kind of cascaded around the edges of this big open room. But everything in kind of the center and that, like the dais, is all clear.
Is there any sort of like keyboard, like in here, like there was before?
Not at the top of the scaffold, no.
Okay, I guess we should make our way down carefully.
Do we see anything gold?
roll a perception check.
And just to be clear, I'm also looking for jewels, silver.
Treasure.
Hard cash. Antiques that could be sold for gold.
So
Platinum gold card.
there is a lot of left behind debris, many of which have Japanese words and stuff on them, stamps and things. They definitely hauled a bunch of stuff down here. It doesn't look like there's any like treasure that was left behind here, but Gwen, over by the dais, you do see that there is another of those keypads.
Any of the Japanese writing indicate treasure? Like any of the Japanese writing on the crates or anything? Any of that indicate?
They're all like top secret in stuff, so through indirect means, yes.
Well, it looks like there's another panel over there. Might need power.
Is there anywhere to put power, or stuff powering up without me needing to put stuff in?
If you descend down the scaffold to the main low floor,
Yeah.
at the bottom there's a big pile of bodies off to the side. Looks like a bunch of workers or something who had all been like mass shot and then just left over there. There do not seem to be any sort of zombie enchantments on them. And then over by the dais, as Gwen, if you're wanting to go up to it and check, or was that Samantha?
Yeah, I'm following Samantha.
Okay, so kind of both of you together going up there. You take kind of one step at a time up this kind of stone slab steps onto the platform, and you see this big archway. And over to the side is one of the control panels, which looks very similar to the one in the pyramid before. There's a kind of that door in the back, which isn't really locked, and it's just open, and there's nothing in it. From there, the big circle area, you could just kind of walk through it. Very much think like a Stargate, except it's made out of just stone.
So, out of curiosity, do we have to recalculate the destination to wherever we're going based off the shift in the stars in the galaxy, or are we just good to turn things on? Okay.
Do you want to try? Or are you asking that in character?
No, that's out of character, but I don't think you ever actually got to that one. You never watched the original Stargate, so
This isn't a Stargate, so ha ha ha.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like when Trevor keeps saying he's never seen Stargate. It's like, yeah, but these are the Gould. Like, his campaign got very Stargate, and he kept saying he never saw it. And Jeff and I just were like, yeah, but these are from Stargate.
Yeah, those are definitely from Stargate.
Well, this is very similar, very iconically resembling a Stargate.
Similar to, but legally distinct from a Stargate. Got
That's
it.
the one. Yes.
Legally distinct.
They said it's not that. So,
Sorry,
No.
Eric.
go over to the control panel.
You want to type it? It's dead without any power.
Okay, look for a place to put it on ZVM.
Yep, it's in the back, kind of like the pyramid.
And the interesting thing, these are empty spots, not dead ones, right?
Yep, somebody has taken them out.
I would point that out. That these aren't just ones that were dead. These have been removed.
They probably left the one that was the most dead so that nobody else could possibly get in here. Which potentially makes this a one-way trip.
Or like we pulled the one from the pyramid to keep the other people from accessing this area. The German may have done the same. But I assume you stick to that one in.
You want to put it in?
Is it? Yeah. Is it only one spot, or
Yep,
do we
there's
need
one spot.
3?
No, it's one.
Okay.
So
Okay.
click. It flickers, and then from the ceiling, lights turn on. The chamber lights up, and then the open sphere of the archway, almost as if one of those holograms appears, but it like turns on, and it's just kind of a picture into what looks to be the jungle or the top of the waterfall. It's
The
like
top
kind
of
of
the
this.
waterfall.
Yeah, it looks like a picture of like a running river going down over a waterfall, and you can see the jungle very much like outside.
Is there treasure through this picture?
It's my line.
Sorry.
This
Yeah.
looks like a
My
camera.
dad. My dad. I don't actually ask that. You're right. Jordan asks
I'm
that.
just joking with you, but yeah,
I'm
Jordan's
asking on
thinking
behalf
about
of Jordan.
There are more crates outside, or through like this in this area. You can see that there's more intact crates, not ones that have been pulled apart and opened, but there are some
Jordan
that
wants
are stepped over.
to know if any of them say gold in Japanese.
Gulden in German. I don't know what Japanese is. But yeah, the picture through this this is more clear than the hologram was before, and you can actually hear the sound of the running water.
I thought this was just an image of outside, like a security camera, but is this a transportation device? So there's nothing else in this big area besides the big stone ring that could be a
Yeah, no, it's been this area was basically like a big staging area that they had everything in and like moved potentially. And through that image, you can see that there's more like crates beyond.
Can I take a stick and poke it through the image?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an image. The stick just is there. The river's like 20 feet away. Just
Oh,
Does it look like there's anything Atlantean through this particular way?
It looks like you're again standing at the top of like the Luzon Mountain, looking out over the Philippines, like just the jungle everywhere. But there doesn't seem to be like it's not that same area. It looks very similar too. But there's nothing, no sign of people except for that there's some of these crates that are still left around.
that's I'm step through. I mean, taking a bit of a risk, but
So Gwen,
interested in what it's like. It has to find something.
okay, so you step through, and again, everything around you is like you're now stepping onto the brambles and the rock and jungle ferns and stuff. You're back in the jungle, and you look over. The entire world surrounds you, as if they were just transported to another place. And you look behind you. There's an archway there, and then just looking through that, you just see only in the inside of the circle is the room back behind where Samantha and Jordan are still. But
You
on
probably
the
see Samantha on the other side, yeah.
yeah, on the edges of this ring though, everything else is just like you're in another world. Everything's jungle around you. And then
A
there's like
Stargate,
more
but legally
boxes.
distinct from a Stargate.
Yes. But
That thing's more like a Iconian portal than a Stargate, really.
yeah, and behind kind of off to the side where it wasn't visible on the inside, you can see some of the crates are opened and just beads of pearls dripping out from it. You can see kind of a glint of gold in the sunlight. You see a dead body that looks very fresh, a Japanese soldier over there.
It looks fresh.
It looks fresh. Kind of
I-
the area around kind of still a little bloody from where he had been shot. Kind of looking around, it just looks like the site was a lot of stuff. Movement had been bringing these crates out, and then disbursement. A lot of like people must have run into the jungle. Yeah, it's
He would speak back to the portal. Say, "There's definitely treasure here, but I can't tell if this is." I know it sounds crazy, an alternate dimension, but I mean, considering what we've seen, crazy is kind of norm. Or if this is just someplace else on Earth that we could just get a plane right out of here.
Seems
I
kind of
could get an accident
anticlimactic.
maybe to try to see if I could see how far I could see.
okay. Where do you want to see? There's jungle on all around you, and then like at the top of the waterfall, if you kind of get up to that point and look down, there's just more fields of jungle. In the distance, off to the far left, you can see kind of smoke rising. It looks like there's some sort of village.
This is definitely the jungle we're in, the waterfall we just saw.
It's definitely
Okay.
not the same one. It looks like the same type of a place, but where Gwen
Okay.
is standing, it's completely different. It's
The
there's
Biological
yeah,
plants are distinct from.
The day or night where Gwen is standing.
it is midday.
So, can't look at the stars.
I go over towards the body.
Okay. Yeah. World War One or World War Two militia outfit, kind of the straw hat looking helmet, but it's made out of like pith or whatever they had. Shot twice through the chest, kind of blood kind of still on the ground. Not freshly wet, like moist to the touch, but you can see it's a recent stain. And the box of treasure right next to you, you can see inside there's hay and stuff, but all kinds of gold bars and wealth.
I got a couple handfuls of it and put it into my pack. Just for, I know I can't take the whole thing with me in my pack, but just for my pockets, but just a couple in case we have to, things go poorly to have something to sell.
Yep. And back in the room, cause for Samantha and Jordan are kind of still looking out. Gwen's out of your field of view, and the image begins to kind of like flicker and fade.
Um, I, I also walk through and I tell Gwen that I think you're running out of time. I think the battery's about to die.
Okay. Yeah, you see around you that again what Gwen saw. She's over there looking down at the body and kind of like looking into the treasure box or one of the open crates. There's just one of many that are scattered around.
Is there anything that looks like it would have been Atlantean rather than just gold for
If you
treasure?
if you look back, the archway has Atlantean like carvings all over it.
All right. Jordan is gonna move through and grab as much as he can, and
Okay. As soon as you kind of get over there, you can see that there's dozens of crates that are some are stacked, some are kind of dragged a little bit away, and they are mismatched all around. And as you open them, each one is filled with all kinds of various valuables. There's
Jordan
artwork,
dumps out his
gold.
backpack and just starts
Okay.
grabbing as much treasure as he can. He's, you know, obviously gold is heavy. He's not gonna take more than he can carry, but he's gonna take as much as he can carry in his backpack, and then
Okay.
without the
So
backpack ripping or any of that. And
gold first, then jewels to carry to put the extra weight, and pearls,
Does, does the
somebody's
satellite
crown.
phone work?
Does your what phone? The
Is
satellite
the
phone?
phone picking up signal?
As you open it up, it's just immediate static, nothing. And then from the back, you look over kind of where the. Actually, I don't think you can see it. It's like you have to go from the front to see it. I don't know if anyone's in that position to see the archway from the front, from where
I would
you're.
actually go around. I'm not actually as concerned with treasure as I am with
Okay.
what the heck is going on. What is this?
So it's probably Samantha who goes around first, and as you come around, the opening that went back into the chamber is gone, and you just see directly through, and you can see where Jordan is on the other side, just ransacking this. And then there's an enormous roar that kind of echoes through the jungle.
Roar of an engine or roar of a dinosaur?
Roar of a very much a dinosaur. And from there, I think as the three of you look back and forth to each other, you realize you are no longer in the Philippines.
I think at that point I
And-
would grab treasure and try to get back inside.
Yeah, at least not in the Philippines in our time.
You know, yeah, you go circling around the archway. There's no passageway anymore. The battery
go?
has given out.
Are we stuck here?
You look at each other, realizing you are very much stuck here in the hollow earth. And in that is,
Adam, your face!
that is where this campaign ends.
I was trying so
As-
hard not to metagame because I knew this was coming.
Jordan, Samantha, and Gwen. The camera
Rebecca's
just
talking about a Stargate made me definitely think we were on another planet or something. When you said dinosaur, I'm like, it's time travel. And then, of course, it's the Hollow Earth. Like,
knowing after the satellite phone wasn't working, he probably would have tried to get back to the portal, but it obviously gets closed.
yeah, it was just a little after Jordan came through. It kind of gave out because it was flickering right before they came in. But
Oh, by the way, is the tightness in my chest gone, or am I gonna die soon?
you are still sick. You have not found a way to cure yourself.
Well, it said a new life, so I was like hoping I went through, like I felt better.
No, there is plenty of adventure for Samantha, Jordan, and Gwen to eventually go through off-screen in the Hollow Earth. Lots of stuff to explore and
very nice.
encounter.
Or in the
But-
part 2, months years down the line.
Yes, if this were a show, this would be season 1, and the lost treasure of Yamashita has now been found by our brave adventurers. But a lot of good
Yep.
the wealth does you in this new land, far away, deep inside of the earth.
That's a videotape.
I pretty much figured as soon as we got through, you were gonna trap us.
Is that why you waited so long? I was
Yeah.
about to cut it off and trap Gwen by herself.
Yeah, I was definitely metagaming, and I probably would have gone through sooner had I not known that I was gonna walk into a trap that trapped me inside the center of the earth. Where I
I was
probably
debating whether Jordan's general mistrust of things that make lodestone go burr be outweighed by his desire for the shiny things.
Well, he has a lot of shiny things now, more than
Yeah, but I'm assuming the lodestone was really going burr at the end there.
Yep. And then you notice it dramatically stop as the power dies.
It stops, and so does Jordan's heart for a moment.
I was expecting
Here's,
human enemies at some point near the end there. I was going to try to...
like, something Jordan has not encountered before is monsters that don't make the lodestone go burr, so the combination of the roar and it stopping, he's probably terrified.
My
Well-
kids are coming in saying they're hungry, so I gotta go.
Yes. Well,
But-
thank you all for playing. You can all
It was
take
fun
5
to-
experience for if we ever were to come back and play these characters. But for now, that ends the story, and I'll end the recording.
It was fun to get trapped in the earth with you all. Till next time.